Good evening, well, afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I forgot the sun's up. But good afternoon, everyone. As you all know, I'm the Love Goddess from the Voodoo Institute. You all have seen me here at Black Social Network for a long time, but that's neither here nor there. Today, we're going to be discussing wintertime blues, because y'all know winter is pretty much upon us, and three herbs that can help with that. And we're going to go over the correspondences as well. So, we're not going to be on here for very long. I just wanted to go ahead and give you all this tidbit of information and some more great news since I'm already here. If you look in the description below, you see the link to the Hoodoo Shop. Right now, we're having a Black Friday sale, and everything in the store is 10% off, including the Pussy Prayer series, which is the Honey Pot course, the Love Sap courses, all of it. So go there and go get them before the sale ends, because the sale will end on November 30th. That's when the code no longer works. So the code for Black Friday, the code Black Friday is in the description. Use that code in all caps, the way that it's typed, so you can go to the Hoodoo Shop and get discounts on your classes and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get started. So the three herbs that I chose to go over with for you guys today are marigold, lavender, and I chose lemon. So we're gonna go over marigold first. So marigold, why is it that marigold is used for depression? Marigold's yellow. We're gonna go over all the correspondences that matter. Marigold is ruled by the sun. Marigold is a Leo, like myself, of course, because Leos are just the best sign ever. It's an air/fire sign, and it's yellow. It being yellow is a lot more important than it may seem. So the sun. Let's talk about the sun, right? The sun rules the ego. It rules your character, your individuality. It rules your power, your confidence, your authority. The sun is masculine, and the sun is electric. So this is why the sun is this is why the sun would be used when it comes to an issue such as depression, or a diagnosis such as depression, right? You need that spark, that fire to get you out of that passion. That's what you need. You need passion and drive to get you out of whatever it is that you may be going through. Let's keep going. So it's yellow. What is the color yellow used for? I hope you all will be writing this down. The color yellow is used for antidepressant, is used for warmth, happiness, hope. The color yellow is used for focus, determination. It's used for creativity. It inspires success. It invokes spirit, and it helps to develop psychic abilities. Write all that down, all of that. Write all that down, because I'm not going over it again. Write it down. Leos, like I said, I'm a Leo, which is why I particularly use marigold for depression, or when I'm having issues concerning depression. Um, the Leo, as you all know, is a sign of creativity, positivity, warmth, determination. It is also an electric sign, and as you all know, it is a sign of the sun. So obviously, this is why we would use it. What else? Marigold is also an air and fire sign. We already went over the sun. Think about the correspondences for the sun when you think about the correspondences for fire, right? Power. When you think about fire, you think about pushing things forward, forcing things through. You think about progression. You think about what else? Determination. You think about what else? I already said passion, I think. You think about lighting a fire up under somebody's ass. That's when you think about. That's what I hear when I hear depression. That's what somebody needs. And when it comes to air, you already know that your air rules your communication. It rules your ability to talk to yourself and others. These are the messages from spirit that we wrote down yesterday when they talked about air when it comes to communication, and your connection to spirit. So air is extremely important, because a lot of times when we are going through depression and we are going through those hard times, um, I'm not going to say that we forget to talk to spirit, but that's when we need to talk to spirit the most. And sometimes that uh, our paranoia from the situation can be overpowering or overclouding. So our messages may not always be as clear, which is why I highly recommend using air signs when it comes to working with depression, but I would recommend using air and fire. Water is great when it comes to dwelling or controlling or working with your emotions, but I would be very keen and careful on what water herbs I use, especially if when it comes to your depression, your emotions are a little unstable. Um, so I just said that to say to be aware and be cautious and be careful. we're gonna move forward. We're gonna go to lavender. As you all know, lavender is just world loved herb. It's hard not to love her. Well, him, excuse me, him. Lavender is purple. It's ruled by Mercury. It's governed by the direction east. Its day is Wednesday. And in the Magical Correspondences book, it says that its god is Saturn. I'm going to say that it carries a lot of Saturn energy, or that's the planet that it's derived from, because it just makes sense. The color purple, let's talk about the correspondence for purple. Purple releases anxiety. I was told that purple nurtures the crown chakra and the third eye. In other words, purple is a good color to use when it comes to your crown chakra. As you all know, lavender is already crown chakra herb, you know what I'm saying? But we don't think about the third eye as well. So it's good for healing your third eye. It's also good for developing your psychic and spiritual gifts, which works with your crown chakra, your third eye as well. Uh, Purple, as my ancestors and spirits around me said, the color is the color of spirit, outside of white, of course. It's a color. The purple is used for wisdom, to contact the dead. It increases occult powers. It can be used to power spells. If you all have seen Hugon's, what was that video? Holy Water video on the School of African Magic. If you've seen that video, speaking of the School of African Magic, a brief intermission, you can go to the School of African Magic and go get your Fantasy Lamp course and your Ori Head Blessing Oil course that I taught a while ago. So I would highly recommend to go and get those courses from the School of African Magic. But purple is also used to power spells. So if you're working a spell, I would recommend like a purple chime candle or a purple 7-day glass jar candle or a purple candle in general to power the work before you light the work, if that makes sense. Leave a work on your altar with this candle. But let's go ahead and get back into it before I go off topic. The color purple is used for domination. The color purple helps things to progress. It forces things to take place in your life so things can progress. So those are correspondences for purple, or a few of them that I'm going to go over for the time being. Let's talk about the planet Saturn. The planet Saturn rules form, organization, solidification. It's an earthly planet, which means that it helps to ground, and it's masculine. Let's talk about the planet Saturn for a second. A lot of people don't know that the planet Saturn can also be used for intellectual development, or how do I put this, y'all? Yeah, intellectual development. Um, Situations where you may need help expressing, how do I say that? Help expressing your thoughts. That's what I heard. Help expressing your thoughts and moving forward. The planet Saturn, I personally feel, this is my personal opinion and my experiences working with the planet Saturn. For those of you that don't know, marijuana is a feminine herb and it's ruled by the planet Saturn, um, which is why we have some of the experiences that we do when we're in that state. Um, and it's very interesting working with the planet itself because it does help to ground you in a lot of ways, which is why herbs such as marijuana help with anxiety. I hope that makes sense, y'all. So we're going to keep going. The day Wednesday, as you all know, Wednesday is the day of good communication. If you need to have a conversation, have it on a Wednesday. If you need to have a conversation with your boss, have it on a Wednesday. If you need to have a conversation with your ancestors, have it on a Wednesday. Wednesday is a great day to sit down and talk, and a great day to think about the things that you say before you say them. Um, Wednesday is a day to study, and it's also a day of divination. So when it comes to divining on work, you divine on your work on Wednesdays. Of course, you divine on your work all the time, but you get my point. Um, Wednesday is a great day for meditation. Saturdays as well, and Wednesdays are a great day to sit down and talk to spirit, as well as Saturday. You see what I'm saying? Only because Saturday is the day of the ancestors anyway. Um, let's move on. So Mercury. Um, And the color of Wednesday, the color for the day of Wednesday is yellow. Crazy, huh? The color of the color representing anti-depression. So keep that in mind, and we're gonna keep going. So let's talk about Mercury. Mercury is the planet in communication. Mercury is the planet that rules lavender. When we think about lavender, we think about Mercury because we think about communication in general. We think about people's ability to talk. We think about the throat chakra. We think about how lavender is constantly used for the throat chakra. So we always think about the crown chakra, but when people think about lavender, they think about people's ability to calm down. right? So when we drink lavender tea, the reason why we have that calming effect is because of the levelness it adds to up here. Your crown chakra being brought back down, being grounded, removing all the extra excess thoughts and everything else that you may be thinking about at that time that's really unnecessary. In my personal opinion, I believe lavender makes room for spirit in your head. That's my personal opinion, but we're going to keep going. So, Mercury rules the mind, it rules objective sight, perception, and expression. This came out of the A to Z astrology book. It's all the way over there, and I don't want to get up and go get it. But if you're here at Black Special Network, you should know what book I'm talking about. It's the big blue one. This is what came out of there for Mercury. Um, and is relatively accurate, so I would pay attention. Mercury is neutral, it's convertible, which makes it, what's the word? Uh, damn it, what's that word? I can't think about it, but it's convertible. It governs the nervous system, extremely important because anxiety and your nervous system go hand in hand. So please take note of that. And intellectual perception. So your ability to perceive your situations. This is why, like I said, using lavender, especially on a Wednesday, is extremely important. I would recommend doing antidepressant work on Wednesdays in general. Um, a lot of us don't realize that when we slip into these falls of depression, it actually prevents us from being able to talk to ourselves kindly. Um, that voice in your head that is supposed to push you forward ends up holding you back. It becomes an issue where you don't trust your judgment. And we often, as my good friend, the garden goddess, has told me on a number of occasions, do not mistake your paranoia for your intuition. And I do feel like that's what depression can cause us to do sometimes because it that perceived notion that we have turns so negative. And so what can we do about it? I'm telling you what you can do about it. You can do work for yourself to protect yourself from that happening. That's what we call it the wintertime blues because when the seasons do start to change, it brings about this feeling of shift that I don't feel like we're always prepared for. We're aware that it's coming, but a lot of times it feels like it happens rather suddenly. So this is just to help us get through this period of time. Let's talk about the direction east. I absolutely love the direction east. When I do money work, I face the east. Why? Because the east is such a positive direction. It's the energy of progression. It's the energy of moving forward. It's the energy of knowing that things are going to be okay. To me, it's the direction of trusting spirit. When I face the east and I do work, I'm letting it go. I'm letting them know that after this, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to think about it no more. I don't want to question it no more. I'm letting you know that after I do this, after I do what it is that I have to do on this side of the room, I'm now giving it up to you so you can take care of it. That's what that's the goal here when it comes to depression and things of that nature. We're trying to go ahead and just hand it over to spirit. Do what you have to do on this side of the world and then hand it over so they can take care of the rest. So that's what the direction east means to me. It, like I said, if you're a part of Black Special Network, we've already gone over the correspondences in terms of like the directions north, south, east, and west. East is the direction to use when it comes to depression. You want to wipe it out. You want to make sure that you move forward. We're not trying to reminisce on it. We're not trying to think about it. We're not trying to none of that. I don't want to sit here. I don't want to have a therapy session about it. No. I want to go ahead and get it done. We can talk about it later. You see what I'm saying? I can sit down, I can talk to spirit or a therapist or whatever the hell else, but the goal is to get it done. You don't want to dwell on it, which is why we use the direction east because the direction east is not to dwell. And the last ingredient that I chose for you guys is lemon. I love lemons. I love using the seeds to birth new ideas in my life, to birth new phases of change, to birth what else for the seeds? To birth new ideas, to birth new shift, new focus, to bring about new situations, new areas of cleansing, new areas of perception. Lemons are really great for cleaning up your perception in the way that you view the world and others. Um, why do I say that? Because it's important when it comes to depression. Depression affects everything. It affects your way to think about things, your ability to talk, speak, and then it begins to affect your physical being. So the reason why I chose lemon is because y'all, as you all know, not only is lemon yellow, of course, but lemon is also a number one herb besides sea salt to cleanse, to remove. So when we think about depression, it's something that we want to wash away. especially the causes of depression. I would recommend using the seeds to wipe away what it is that brought this depression about in the first place. Because a lot of times it's not something new or something that's just came about. A lot of the times the things that trigger these depressive episodes or these depressive states are things that happened a really long time ago. So I would use lemon to cleanse me of that, to help to fix that problem, to help to begin to mend me and heal me from whatever it is that happened all the way back when that still triggers me now in my particular case in my early 20s. You see what I'm saying? Very early 20s. For some of y'all, it's things that you've been dealing with for over a decade. This is what I recommend this for. Lemon is not I'm gonna clean the surface type of herb. Lemon is very much a deep cleansing, get to the root of the problem kind of herb, if that makes sense. So if you want to, you can use the rind of lemon for protection. I would highly recommend that. You can cut different shapes and things out of a lemon rind. Like you can cut a square out of it for some grounding and some protection. You can cut a triangle. Y'all know a triangle is a symbol of protection. A circle is a symbol of unity and friendship and family. What else? Square for foundation to ground you, to stabilize you, all kinds of things. Get creative with what it is that you want to do. You can use them inside of your baths. Take it out the bath, use it in a candle. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. So you can use the rind to wrap a candle, a lamp. You can use the rind to make a spray. You can use the whole damn lemon. Okay, put lemon juice on a candle. You use lemon juice to rub your candle down. I say candle because I don't know what y'all work with. Obviously, there's a bunch of different methods to work with, but you get my point. Um, I would use lemon to clean my mirror because you all know that I read with a mirror as well. I would use lemon rind and some lemon juice to clean my mirror, especially if I feel like other people have been around it. Also, to prevent a quick side note for those of you that read with mirrors, I would use a lemon to enchant my mirror to make sure nobody else could look into it. So somebody take note of that, please. I would use a lemon to make sure that nobody else could look into my mirror. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that for now. And y'all just made me realize maybe I need to do another mirror workshop or class. But so yeah, lemons are used for cleansing, for purifying, for protection. A side note, I would recommend that everybody be doing protection work on your homes right now. Not to alarm anyone, just heed my warning. Particularly protecting your homes from the police, unless it's for emergency purposes. But just heed my warning. If you were in Sophisticated Sunday like 3 months ago, you know why I just said that. Um, Lemons are also used for enlightening. They're used to bring about change, prosperity, like I already said, to change your perception, your outlook or perceived outlook on life. And that's often needed because a lot of times I believe people often, those of shit. Y'all, the people that are often looking at you from the outside in often don't quite understand how difficult it can be to get yourself out of certain situations, such as, especially when it comes to mental challenges or mental holdups, especially mental holdups that affect your emotional state and well being. Um, so, the reason why I say your perceived outlook on life is because when your optimism becomes clouded, when your positivity becomes hard to find, so to speak. A lot of people view you as being negative, or you can even view yourself as being negative by being, a little harder on yourself than you should. And so when it comes to changing your perceived outlook, sometimes you need someone to come in and change the way that you look at things. So think about using lemon in your work as a cleanse for the eyes, all three of them. So we're going to keep going. And lemon is also used for anxiety and depression, just like lavender and just like marigold. So I want you guys to take all of this into consideration. Please take notes on all of this. If you enjoyed or you learned something from this class, y'all see that little banner going that way? Which way it's going? God damn it. Sending your love donations. Make sure that you guys get to the Voodoo Institute because I will always be at the Voodoo Institute as Love Goddess. I'm gonna live there forever. Go to the Hoodoo shop, my baby. Make sure that you're taking advantage of this Black Friday sale because I don't know when the next time we're gonna have a sale, guys. And make sure that you subscribe to my Patreon as well so you can keep up with when we're having sales, when we're having classes, when we're doing anything extra. And my Patreon is the only way that you can join the Love Army, which is my own personal Discord group. So I love y'all. I think that was it. I think that's all I had to tell you. In the description below is the link to the Hoodoo Shop, is the link to the Voodoo Institute, the link to my Cash App, the link to my PayPal, and a link to Patreon. So everything's down there, and it should be down there after this finished posting. So I love you guys dearly, and you'll more than likely see me sometime later on this week. Ashe, everybody.